Happy Friday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Now I'm going to give you an update on what's going on with the tropics because it's looking very concerning. Now, we do have severe weather for today and a little bit for tomorrow. We'll go through that as well. So I will put timestamps in the description below. That way you can go to whichever one you need to go to. But the tropics are really starting to look concerning, everybody, because it's not the GFS showing this. That's why it's so concerning. It is the Euro, and it's the trend of what's looking like could happen. So I'm going to go through all the details, let you know what's forming up, why this is forming up, and what could potentially happen. So if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I am all year long. Please share this information to others. Just alert them, a little heads up. Let them know what could be coming up down the road, and it's not that far down the road. So you can see today that you do have some serious storms moving through, especially Oklahoma. They had a lot of good storms this morning, and that's going to spark up as you go into this afternoon. Get a lot of lightning strikes, especially for center and northern Texas. I have the information for you, and it goes all even along. And then as you go through the evening and overnight hours, this goes further south down Texas, bringing more chances for thunderstorms, maybe even potentially large hail again. And when you go through your holistic vibes, which shows you your updraft strength, and we have strong updraft strength. This could be either large hail or potentially a long track, a strengthening storm cell. It could be a potential tornado. And it's showing that around this afternoon, right when you get around 2 and 3 o'clock, it gets strong right around northeastern Oklahoma, right above Tulsa. And what's really concerning is it is showing that it does bring some 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts with that group of storms that come through. We're going to have two groups. One group is going to head south down Texas. One group is going to head to the east, southeast. And this group is coming pretty strong, so it has a strong cell. It has some strong damage and potential wind gusts. But the tornado threat is not super high for today. I will show you. It is pretty low. But as you go through the evening, you can see right when you get around 6 through 8 o'clock in the evening, you get some strong cells moving through southern Texas, a little northern of where Austin and San Antonio is. And that is showing up to 80 miles per hour wind gusts. So take this with a grain of salt. Let's downgrade it. It is HRRR. But let's just say at least 60, potentially 70 could be coming with those storms as it goes later in the evening. And that is from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. And you can see how much it did downgrade for today. For your tornado threat, it is right in that region, northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, a little bit of western Arkansas. And this could raise up a little bit. The cell's been showing it a lot stronger, a little bit further to the north. But so far, here's your cities and states at risk of the tornado threat for today, for Friday. But you also have some winds passing through and some chances for some hail. So as we go back and see around 1 p.m., that's when these cells are really starting to strengthen up as it goes through Oklahoma. You even get a hail core right below Tulsa. As that strengthens and goes to the east, southeast, it breaks apart into two parts. So you have the part that's going across Arkansas all even along, even overnight hours, all the way to 10 and 11 o'clock, but it starts winding down. Pretty strong cells in there. It could be some hail cores. Could be some hail coming out of these storms, guys. But this is going later in the evening as it builds up for Texas, all the way from San Angelo, all the way towards northern of Waco. And that goes all evening long. Then once you hit midnight, then it starts going further to the south, all down San Antonio, and then weakens as it goes by Corpus Christi. Then you have what brews up for tomorrow. And there is some storms passing by for tomorrow morning, all the way to noontime for northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. This is where your severe weather risk is. There is going to be other storms going up Tennessee, southern Kentucky. But this is where the severe weather aspect will be. And it'll start stretching out once you get that daytime heating. Right around 2 and 3 o'clock, you start to get some hail cores passing by Birmingham, a little bit towards Montgomery. As you go a little bit past that, then it weakens back down. But it does stay pretty close to the coast the whole time. Just a little here and there. It is isolated among some areas. It does look like it does get strong around Birmingham, so just be aware of that. So before we go into the tropics, let's go into these National Weather Service alerts for these states, guys. So for Oklahoma, for this morning, it's very low chance of tornado, up to a quarter-size hail, up to 60 miles per hour winds. But once you go to this afternoon, still very low for tornado chance. It does move a little bit. You do get a slight risk. Up to golf ball size hail and still up to 60 miles per hour winds. Now, Tulsa has put this out. You do have a limited tornado potential. Like I said, it's very low. Maybe a quarter or $half size hail and 60 to 70 miles per hour. So the winds do start picking up as you pass by Tulsa. In Arkansas, Little Rock has put this out for you as well. Up to 60 miles per hour winds, quarter-size hail, and very low chance on the tornadoes. Also for Shreveport, northern Louisiana, you do have this for your National Weather Service. Damage and winds, low tornado chance, and large hail with a little bit of flooding. Not really a big threat. Now, DFW, you do have a hail threat and a low tornado and a low flooding chance. But you do have a wind threat for today, so just remember the areas where I show you those damage and winds going through Texas. Also for San Antonio, they put it out for large hail, damage and winds, and flooding. And it will be overnight hours. And you can see the severe weather risk for tomorrow. So you don't have any chances for tornadoes, guys. You have chances for wind and chances for hail as these storms come across the east-southeast and as that goes overnight to the early morning hours for southern Texas. Here's the cities and states at risk for Saturday. Now let's talk about the tropics because both GFS and Euro is seeing a lot on a potential velocity anomaly. They're showing all the way from the 21st through the 24th, maybe getting all the way down to the 25th, that we have a strong anomaly coming into our region. Then there will be a break, and then we have more potential favorable environment coming in the first week of June. You can also see this on the short range for the Euro. From the 21st all the way to maybe 24th, 25th, there's favorable environment coming into our region, and then maybe something in the beginning of June. The Euro really don't see the beginning of June doing too much, but you can see that favorable environment up here. But Euro is showing we have a lot of potential favorable environment coming to our area after the first week, right in our region. Then after that, something strong coming off the MDR, the main development region, but probably hitting a lot of shear. Now, these temperatures in this ocean is very warm, guys, except for this little sliver that you see right off the east coast. That's where that low pressure is now. That's why it can't form and do anything. That is pretty much in between 72 and 75 degrees. Very cold waters. But right where this next wave is coming all in this region and potentially into the Gulf. Now, you see this light yellow, that is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Start getting to 77 degrees Fahrenheit as you get in this darker yellow. But once you get into this orange, you start getting to 80 and above. And over here in the Gulf, you start getting to 82, 85. So it's really warm in the Gulf, especially over here in the Western Caribbean. Just getting unbelievably above average temperatures right now. So as this wave comes in, it will be hitting some warm waters. And this is why it is concerning to me. Because when you go by the SpaghettiOs, according to the Euro, the ensemble prediction system, it has been updated to have forecast confidence and medium to long range now. And guys, right around the 23rd is showing something small could form up. Now we're going to have double vortices. The first one is going to go out there towards the Atlantic Ocean, going east-northeast, no big deal. Maybe even have a chance to strengthen into something. But after that, we have another one forming up right over the southeast coast. And this could potentially go into our Gulf and strengthen up into something because we all know how the Gulf is. So as we take a look and see what the culprits, what's the factors at play, you can see on your EPO, your East Pacific Oscillation, it lets you know on the West Coast if you're going to a high ridge or if you're going into a deep trough on your jet stream. And that's important. If you're going to a deep trough on the West Coast, you're going to have a ridge on the opposite side. So if it was a high ridge on the West Coast, it'd be going to a deep trough on the East Coast. And you can see right here between the GFS in the red, the Euro in the green, then you got the Canadian and the GEFS, which is another GFS, agreeing with the GFS right around that time that it's going on a very high ridge, guys. Even the Euro EPS is agreeing with the GFS that it's going on a high ridge. However, the Euro is showing by itself now that for any time from the 25th all the way to the 27th, that we actually could be going towards a weak ridge and then maybe going out into a trough. So pretty much if you have a trough, as the storm comes in, it'd be like baseball. It's going to hit that storm, knock it away. But if that ridge comes in, it's going to pull it up to the coast as it goes up to the coast and go up maybe on a high ridge, unless it comes after the trough. Now, after the trough passes, it is a trough with a ridge behind it. So it can still pull it to the west after the trough passes. We just have to see exactly what's going on in this region, but you can see the trend is that it is somewhat going to stay on a ridge and not go down to a trough and not be a weak ridge like what Euro is seeing. At least that's the data this morning. I will update this every single day that I put a video out for you guys. Matter of fact, if you look at just for the Euro, not only does it show that it's going to a trough with a small ridge around that time, then to another trough, before it showed it could go up on that high ridge, also showed it could be a deeper trough. So it's just too far out just to be sure what's going on with this pattern just yet, guys. Now you can see this when you look at the latest Euro 500 millibar height way up in the atmosphere, that right on the 23rd we started going into that deep trough. So we get that high ridge, but you can see how it's kind of a weak ridge, and we get that other trough coming by, and that sucks in that precipitous water, all that energy, and it becomes one right there. Right there, it gets pulled into the stream, and it starts headed further to the north. Then it passes. Now you have almost a cutoff low, just spinning around in all that warm temperatures. So as you look at your precipitous water, you can see right around the 22nd, the 23rd, that we get a vortice. We get one vortice way out here into the Atlantic, east side loaded with all the precipitation. But if you keep going, you can see around the 24th and 25th, we get another vortice forming up over the southeast. And this is what's being blocked by that trough going down, so it moves to the west. Then the trough is gone, and it's able to strengthen while it's doing a high ridge on our jet stream, pretty much a cutoff low. Now you see all the precipitation that you getting on the ground level that's wrapping around in this vortice. And if you look at the 850 millibar, your lower levels, you can see that it does have precipitation in there, mostly north side loaded, and it does stay within that system pretty much while some dry air tries to get in. But if you look at the 500 millibar height, right on the top of this storm, you can see that a lot of dry air gets within this storm. It gets sucked in. It is going counterclockwise, and it has precipitation. It does try and get a center. It does try to strengthen up, but now it's totally wrapped with dry air. Now this is 500 millibar. At 850 and the ground level, there's precipitation. So that would limit the strength if this getting choked out by all this dry air. And you can even see here on precipitous water that it's not getting tapped into a lot of the precipitation. So right now we still have this big flow going right over South America into the eastern Pacific, but some of it breaks off. We get that vortice that goes out into the Atlantic, and then we get that next one that forms up over the southeast. And as you can see, thankfully, it's not tapped into all this precipitation down here. So it's very weak. It'd be very weak, if anything, if this does form out of something. So please take this with a grain of salt. We're still talking about 6 days, maybe 7 days away before that possibility. So the first one is going out. That's a pretty much given. It's always showed that. But that second one is the one we need to concentrate on what could happen out of that, because it's being shown by the Euro. But so far, that first one goes into that lift, it taps into it, moves out into the Atlantic. Then we get all that favorable environment, all that lift that goes in the Gulf, and look how much it weakens from that dry air. So what could this possibly bring if this does come into fruition? So as you get to 23rd, it brings storms out into Atlantic. No big deal, guys. But that second one, it just forms up, and you can see the double vortices, double low pressures by the 24th. It just can't hold itself together. Then when it tries, it finally taps into that warmer temperatures in the ocean. Then it gets trapped by that big high pressure. High pressure is all above it, and it can't go further to the north. So it's staying somewhat on the low end and not totally dying out because the waters are above average, but it's getting a lot of dry air in there, and it's not able to do nothing. But it is bringing, in the least, heavy rainfall. And here's the difference. GFS does see the double vortices, 2 surface lows by the 23rd. Still shows that one is going to move out into Atlantic, but it is slow doing it. And that other one really don't have time to do anything. And GFS is consistent on that. This is the 6Z. This is the next run. It's not the balloon data like the 0Z I just showed you, but it's the next run. And it does show still 2 surface lows potential, and it's still showing something very weak. Nothing to worry about. Now, the Euro shows that the 23rd and 24th and beyond could be a lot of storms that could be brewing up for Florida as this surface low, this mesoscale just spins around with all this precipitation and add up to a lot of rainfall. And this is starting to get concerning, guys. So it does show some winds, but look at all this heavy potential rainfall that could come out with that for northern Florida, southeastern Georgia, even some of South Carolina, Panhandle, Florida, and Alabama. Maybe even the Carolinas, with the most of it staying in the Atlantic. Now, the Canadian is agreeing that, just like all of them, this would be offshore with the heaviest, but it's starting to bring it a little bit closer like the Ural seas, but all this rainfall is around the same area. And GFSs don't show any of that being winds, potentially 40 miles per hour wind gusts as it gets pulled to the high ridge in the northeast. The Ural is still showing that it will be north side loaded with these winds. It will be up to 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts for southern Georgia, the coast of South Carolina, and across northern Florida. Matter of fact, that is the trend with the Canadian as well. That would be 40 miles per hour wind gusts would come whipping across northern Florida. Because when you look at the control member for the Ural, for the ensemble prediction system, you can see it agrees that this low pressure is going out into the Atlantic on the first one. That's within the next 5 days. And that second one could be something weak, forming right off the southeast coast of Florida. Now, that is literally 6.5 to 7 days away, guys. Still, it shows the control member that nothing will come out of that. Now, of course, National Hurricane Center don't have anything out yet, guys. And in case you don't know, they have changed it for this year. Instead of 5 days, they let people know 7 days in advance of any kind of formation that we need to watch out for. This is what I've been screaming for years. 5 days is not enough time for somebody to save up money and possibly have to do something. And give you an update on this. YouTube is about to make a big change viewers are going to absolutely despise. So YouTube is announcing that they are doing 30-second unskippable ads to connected TVs watching their videos, guys. So advertisers who want that captive audience will have to sign up for YouTube Select. And I definitely do not agree with this, guys. Not only for the viewers, because no one wants to watch a 30-second unskippable ads. I never put them in my videos. I never will. Anybody tells you they don't control that, they're lying to you. We put them in ourselves, guys. So you never want to put a 30-second ad. It's just silly. And you can see here that 70% of the YouTube impressions do go to televisions. So they're trying to make more money, trying to get you to buy this ad blocker select thing that they're doing, and to me that's just pushing their product on you. I disagree with this very highly. Now, they did have this in 2018 if y'all remember, but now they brought it back because they have a new CEO and he's trying to pinch every penny he can, I guess. I do not agree with this. I do not want this on my channel, and if I have to, I will turn off ads altogether. All right, guys, so we have another one to give away for today. So if you've never been here before, this is a solar weather station from Accurite. They've been around for 80 years. I believe the longest ones around. They're celebrating this year, so we're celebrating with them, giving away one every other day to the viewers, to a subscriber. You must be a subscriber. You must hit the like button and put the comment WeatherMan to be announced on my next video who the winner will be. It connects to National Weather Service, weather on the ground, and you get your winds updated every 17 seconds. Very easy to install. Put it on your pole, put it on a fence, put it on a porch, put it anywhere as you can screw it in and keep it level. Now, we'll keep you updated as the days progress and we get more and more information, see what the trend is, what could possibly happen. You see what's happening with the GFS, and even though it's not trending, you see what's happening with the control member with the Ural. It's kind of agreeing to the same thing. If anything, it'll be a group of disorganized thunderstorms. Maybe some winds can be involved and some flooding. Happy Friday to you. Good Shabbos to everyone taking their Sabbath. And today I want to read to you Psalm 34, 1 through 8. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Amen. Have a great weekend, everybody. God bless you and your families. Tell me again in the comments, what do you think about YouTube doing what they're doing with this 30-second unskippable ad? I don't think it's a good thing. And if I can help it, it's not going to be on my channel. Never was, never will be. And as far as I can help it, never will be. That's just, I always click off any channel that does that. All glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I pray He keeps you safe at all times, every day of your life until He comes to take you home. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen to that. Have a great day, everyone.